Alright, welcome back to another Embrace Destiny video, everybody. We are back in the Cosmodrome, familiar territory, and today we're going to do a little bit of an updated talk on patrols and the PvE, player versus environment portion of Destiny. So, not too long ago, a few months ago, I actually made a video on my thoughts concerning the Destiny patrols, and some hopes and some criticisms that I hope would be applied in Destiny 2. Now, it doesn't seem like that long ago, but since that time we've not only heard when the release date for Destiny 2 was, but we know we played the beta and we know a little bit more. We've heard a bit more about how they're planning on making the game. So I'd like to talk a bit about that, update my thoughts and my hopes, my speculations concerning Destiny 2. As well as provide some commentary concerning some other games that I've recently been playing. So, if you're familiar with Destiny patrols, basically inside the universe of Destiny there are different worlds that you can go and explore, and in each world, whether it's Earth, the Moon, Venus, Mars, you can collect, you can find resources to collect. You can eliminate enemies, you can complete minor tasks. Here's some resources right here. And it's pretty great and all, but the one problem I have with it is that after a certain point in the game, there's no reason to go back. As you can see here, the monsters are level 5. I'm level 40, and my light is... even on my Warlock character, which isn't that developed, it's pretty high. So the monsters are easy to beat. The challenges are, they're repetitive and they're endless, and both mechanically and story-wise, there's just no reason to go back. You're too powerful, and there's no incentive really. It's kind of annoying to think that these areas exist as places that the darkness has reclaimed, has retaken. But even if I went in here and cleared out everyone, it doesn't really make a difference. So, I think I need to do that. Well, yeah. So, what's changed? Well, first, we've heard some news regarding Destiny 2. They've talked about the explorable areas, and it looks like they're actually adding a lot. And I don't know if they're watching my videos or if great minds think alike, but they're incorporating some of the changes that I was hoping for, and that's really exciting. So what are they doing? So you still have these big open explorable areas, although it's not going to be the Earth and the Moon. It's going to be Nessus, Titan, and Io, 3 real destinations in our solar system, but obviously, modified for the game. We're also going to have lost sectors and adventures, which is really interesting. So basically, lost sectors will be kind of like dungeons, where you have to physically find them and discover them, or maybe they'll be on your map, and you go in, you fight some bad guys, you clear them out, you find some treasure. Great. So that's cool. It's kind of like dungeons or raid, it's kind of like dungeons that are seen in other games. I got myself turned around. Let's see if I can get out of here. Oh yeah, I know where I am. That's what happens when you don't pay attention. Okay, so next is the adventures, which they seem to be, as you move around and explore the different explorable areas, you will also have the opportunity to meet characters who will give you adventures. So it'll probably be things like, I couldn't go into that abandoned ruin because there were too many aliens there. So go clear it out, and I'll give you a gun as a reward. So that's pretty neat. It offers some opportunity for exploration, general monster hunting, whatever, and hopefully will give us a bit more of a connection, a bit more of a knowledge about the world of Destiny. There's also going to be a map, which is great. It's one of the big complaints that a lot of us have had in Destiny 1 is that there's no real map. There's no when you're in orbit, you can see a map of the different places, and it's a general outline of each different patrol area. But while I'm here, I can't access a map. I can't see anything, and I mean, it's easy enough to kind of get the locations memorized, But it's when you're early on in the game, it was a little bit annoying to do that, to try and memorize those places and to try and figure out exactly where I needed to go and be. And I'm looking forward to having a map. So yeah, Lost Sectors, Adventures, that's looking pretty great. Another thing, there's going to be treasure maps apparently. Apparently once in a while, you can buy you can buy maps from Cade who will tell you the locations or the possible locations of some items, and you see that in a lot of other games too. Guild Wars 2 is the one I can recall at the moment. And I think that's pretty cool. Hold on. There we go. I think that's pretty great. It allows for exploration and the ability to gather loot or treasure, and it's just a great way to encourage the exploration. Ooh, okay. It's been a while since I fought this guy. I'm having trouble concentrating. So, what else? Well, we're still not exactly sure how most of it's going to work. Destiny 2 does not come out until September 6th, and none of us have played it yet. We don't know exactly how it's going to work out. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, we don't know how exactly it's going to work out, but it seems to be promising. They're definitely pushing for more of a player versus environment experience, definitely pushing for more chances to and reasons to explore the worlds, and hopefully to learn more. Some of the public events now. See, here's a public event that just showed up. Destroy a fallen walker. Area gets dark. Usually some kind of indicator pops in that says where that walker is. Of course, there's a Taken over there. That's not good. But even as a veteran Destiny player, I'm sitting here going, okay, where's that event? Where exactly is it? Now, it happens to be, I think it happens to be landing right on top of me. But a lot of the times, it's not that simple. But again, they seem to be updating the system for Destiny 2. The events look to be, oh my, they look to be a lot more clear, and they seem to have a tiered system where, you know, new players can get in on them, and experienced players, higher level players can. I hate when two events spawn into each other. Anyway, where higher level players can opt in to do a harder version of it, and it you know, provides challenge. It provides rewards that are respective for those different heroes. So that's great. Couple little complaints and uncertainties at this point. Again, Destiny 2 is not out, so these aren't exactly complaints about something that's not in a game. They're just concerns. First concern is that in the patrols and in the things that we've seen so far, there doesn't seem to be anybody other than the aliens and the Guardians. Now, why is that a problem? Well, I made it clear in an earlier video that oh my, okay, hold on. I made it clear in an earlier video that there was no emotional connection for me between my Guardian and humanity. The entire emphasis, the entire point of Destiny is you are the Guardian protecting the last city from, you know, death and destruction, annihilation, extermination, whatever. And I honestly didn't care. I wanted to care, but those citizens that we were warned about, that we were told we had to protect, you never see them. You never have any issue with them. You never rescue any of them. There's no connection. Now, we saw a little bit of that in the Destiny 2 beta. The first mission was called Homecoming, and it was entirely about the Cabal taking over the tower and you know, presenting the threat that they were. So, you know, you saw injured people that Shaxx was protecting. You saw, you know, you saw Lord Commander Zavala needing help, and you actually got to stand by. And if you weren't successful, you actually got to watch him die and, well, be respawned. But I'm not sure how much of that we're going to get in the rest of the game. I mean, the story looks like it'll be fairly compelling, but again, I'm not sure if I'm going to actually save people or if I'm just going to, you know, maybe I'll save another guardian, or maybe I will save a vanguard member. But I'm not sure if I'm actually going to see this humanity that I'm supposed to save. And that's an issue that I've been seeing with Destiny. Is it's disconnected. Here we are in the Cosmodrome. We're on Earth, and we're told that this area is out of bounds, basically, for civilians, for regular people, because the aliens are here and they're constantly pushing in with their ships. But again, if I can just run in here as my level 40 Guardian and kill all of them and continually provide a beachhead to push them back, why can't I clear this territory for humanity? And in Destiny 2, we see, Guardians are going to be forced to run off to the to the farm to retreat from Gaul and his Cabal Red Legion. But what about the regular people? What are they doing? Where are they? Are they hiding? Where are they hiding? Are they in the European Dead Zone as well? It's a little point, and it's kind of silly to think about when you're trying to break apart or analyze a game. But I'm really hoping that we'll actually get to rescue people, and that we'll actually have more of a connection with people. So what are some examples of this? I mean, obvious ones would be we have to actually save people's lives. We have to protect them from, maybe there's a village or an outpost that we have to, there's an event of pushing out the darkness. They try to invade, the Fallen run in and try to, murder some people who are just trying to make a living. Maybe you have to escort. People hate escort missions, but I think they would be really fitting for the public events in Destiny. You hear stories in the lore of Destiny where people are migrating and they're trying to make a pilgrimage basically from wherever the heck they're from to the tower. And I think something like that could be really useful. But it may be too difficult. A lot of games have this problem. If you play the Batman Arkham series, I haven't played the Arkham Knight, I believe, is the final in the trilogy. I haven't played that one, but if you play any of the other ones, you'll notice that Batman is supposed to be protecting a city, but there's nobody inhabiting the city except for criminals. And they actually write it into the game where in the first game you're in an asylum, so of course there's nobody but criminals. Maybe a few guards that you have to protect. Yeah, it's a common in a lot of games, a lot of sandbox games where you're supposed to be protecting people, but there's nobody around. You play Spider-Man 2 on the what was that for? The GameCube, I think. And the only people that were ever around were people who were actually physically involved in some activity or something. So what's another way that we could do this? Well, I think we're going to see some of this, and this is why I have a bit of hope. I think that in some of the adventures and some of the lost sectors and exploration, I think we're going, and maybe even the public events, I think we're going to have missions and things that involve either protecting people or learning about how we didn't protect them. So here's a bit of speculation on my part. When you play the beta, the artificial intelligence failsafe, who's not your ghost, she calls you the captain. And there's some rumor, and when you see some of the IGN videos that talk about that talk about some of the new things that you're going to be able to do in Destiny, they mention that they show that one of the events or quest lines is called "Oh Captain," "Oh Captain, my Captain." So what's going on here? Well, my speculation is that the failsafe is the artificial intelligence for one of the hold on. There we go. Artificial intelligence for a colony ship, and she thinks or declares you to be her captain of that ship. And I think when you complete that kind of mission, you will start to realize that those people never made it. They never made it to their destination, and that's the casualty of the darkness. And this is the main emotional point, is that we need a reason to do what we do. And for most of Destiny, the reason to do what you do is you'll eventually get better gear. But some of us are less concerned about that. I mean, I don't really care. I like the gear, the guns, and the weapons, and the ships, and everything. They're really cool. But I want a more emotional connection. I want a real story reason for why I'm doing this. Why am I here? So,
Incoming transmission.
I think that if we were to do missions where we discovered more about the area, maybe there used to be people who established an outpost on Titan or something, and then they were overwhelmed. I think if we had more adventures and things like that, that kind of connected us to the world, we'd have a much better time doing it. Now, some of you may be pointing out a really obvious point. I'm kind of jumping around everywhere as I play here, and that would be the dead ghosts. So, in Destiny 1, there were these collectibles. Second challenge is not working. Okay. I need to find some resources. You had the dead ghosts that you can go around and collect, and unfortunately, as most people know, Bungie did not include the text from those ghosts in the game. So, when you picked up the ghost, they were supposed to be ghosts that had been once tied to a guardian and had since been lost. And each ghost came with a little block of text that you could read, but only if you went online outside the game. And that text was explaining the world and the factions and the characters and the people of Destiny. Well, I just finished playing Deus Ex Mankind Divided. Really great game. It combines a lot of different elements that I enjoy: exploration, action, good story, a little bit of world building. And one thing I really liked was the fact that you kind of had the choice about how much exploring you wanted to do. Deus Exploring. So, you had a choice. Most of the time, you go into a mission and it would literally say, do you just want to run and fight? Or do you want to, search around more and gather more evidence or whatever? In one of the final fights of the game, this isn't a spoiler really, it comes up saying, hey, do you want to use this piece of equipment that you have that could maybe help delay the fight, maybe to your advantage? Or do you just want to pull out your gun and shoot people? And I like that choice, because choice is usually great to have, and resources. No. Resources. No. Anyway. What was also really cool was that the exploration for that game was kind of similar to what Destiny wanted, but they didn't get. So in that game, the exploring mostly was going around and hacking every computer system in the game. You go around, you go to bosses' apartments, you go into their office, you hack their computer, you read their email, and sometimes it would give you things like the code to unlock their safe, or their code to bypass security or whatever. A lot of times it didn't give you any of that. It just gave you some kind of random story piece. It would tell you more about a character, more about whatever the heck was going on. Anyway, rambling again. Why is this important? Well, the main mechanic of the game involves making slight decisions in conversation, whether to act, be friendly, be hostile, whether to show mercy or to show justice, whatever, as well as investigating. There we go. Need this. Investigating the clues in the story, following the leads to bring, people to justice. And if you ran through the entire game without hacking a single computer, you could get through it just fine. Shoot everybody you like, blow open all the security that you want, great. But if you happen to take the time and actually explore the world, hack the computers, and spend your time and resources on that, well, a couple of things happen. One, you actually have a better emotional connection to the game that you're playing, because you see what's going on, why people are motivated to do it, and you see the consequences of your choice, which is, people don't want to see the consequences of their choices in real life, but they do in games. I can tell you that right now. And the next thing is that it actually makes the game easier. because I spent resources in upgrading things, and because I hacked like every computer system I came to, I knew more that was happening, and that either gave me a more informed choice as I played, or it literally opened up options. Sometimes I'd be let's see if I can find some more spin metal here. Sometimes I would be in a conversation with a character, and I would be presented with a third option that wouldn't be available if I hadn't bothered to read, you know, the boss's emails or hack the security network. But because I had that freedom to choose a new option based on that information. So where am I going with this? Well, we don't know exactly how it's going to work, if they're even going to be dead ghosts in Destiny 2. We're not even sure our character can speak. I mean, technically, Luke Smith, I think, has gone on record saying that your character will not speak. But other people have said that there will be some kind of intuitive, immersive, interactive, social system. So I don't know, maybe it's going to be just dialogue choices or you know, something, and maybe your ghost does all the talking and you just kind of nod and go with it. Not sure yet, but what I would like to see in Destiny 2 is I would like to see some emotional connection to the world, to the people we're trying to actually save and protect. And I would like to see a way of, an option, a way of exploring the backstory and the history of the game if I desire. Now it seems that we're going to get that case because, at least in the second part, because Luke Smith has said that, you know, once you beat the main game, you can go and explore the worlds. But I sincerely hope it's not exploration just to get loot. You know, oh look, you've completed all the activities, now you have the highest numbers. Great. I want there to be exploration where I learn about the people I'm supposed to be fighting and the people I'm supposed to be protecting, and I want, you know, I want to know what this building is. I don't know what this building is for. I don't know what this building is for. I don't know what the, well, actually, I do want to know what these are, but that's because I've spent the time reading, well, I've actually studied those, but I've actually spent the time reading, the lore and stuff that was not presented in the game in order to better understand what I was doing. Anyway, this is a pretty long, rambling video. I'm really happy for what I've been seeing so far, and I'm really excited to play Destiny 2. I'm really excited to learn more about the universe, and I hope that they just continue to make positive changes for the game. I mean, a lot of people have raised concerns, but I would argue that Destiny has only gotten better as a franchise over time because Bungie has started to actually listen to the complaints of their players. They don't always get it right, and they don't always do so in an expedient manner, but I think they're getting there. Anyway, long video aside, what do you think? What are you looking forward to in terms of the PvE aspect of Destiny 2? Do you care, or are you just going to play the Crucible the whole time? Are you, what kind of events or actions or activities are you looking forward to doing, or you hope are there? What other games do you play that you like that kind of have these kinds of experiences that you're looking for? Feel free to drop me a comment below. I'm going to be trying to, where did that go? There it is. Feel free to drop me some comments below. I look forward to your feedback, and yeah, I look forward to seeing all of you out there in Destiny and Destiny 2. Bye now.